wonderful people of Ghana. It is my pleasure to start this series of lectures to educate the public on development in the northern region and in other areas of development. Um, it is my hope that this series of lectures would impact policymakers in a positive way so that they can use these tidbits to develop the country. My name is Gamal Abdul Nasser. I am a lecturer at the Ghana Institute of Management and Public Administration. I am a lecturer at the Economics Department, and I would like to give you some highlights on the status of political economic development in the northern region because of the things that I have seen over the years regarding development in the northern region. I would like to give you a little bit of what is expected of development makers, and probably you will be able to contribute to this type of discussion. So for today's lecture, I am going to be examining the political economy of income diversification in the northern region. Basically, when we talk about income diversification, we're looking at basically the capacity of rural households to generate multiple sources of income from different sources of income, for example, farming and livestock, without exiting agriculture. So that is basically what diversification does. So when we talk about income diversification in rural development, we're basically looking at the capacity of rural households to generate multiple sources of income from different sources without exiting agriculture. Basically, when you look at the literature on income diversification across the world, you would find that income diversification is quite common in Africa and other parts of the world because of its greatest contribution to development and to the living standards of the poor around the world. So I would like to use this income diversification lecture as a way of trying to improve development in the northern region, because northern region is one of the poorest regions in Africa, and I would like to use this as a basis for correcting the situation in the north. Now, basically, as I was saying, income diversification basically looks at how rural households earn incomes from different sources of income and how they are able to generate multiple sources of income. Today, we're going to look at the three different levels of income diversification. And income diversification, as I said, would occur at three different levels of the economy. It occurs at the macro level, at the micro level, and at the meta level. So when we talk about macro level income diversification, we're talking about, it is seen as part of the structural transformation of the economy. When we talk about the structural transformation of the economy, we're basically talking about a situation where the rural non-farm economy expands, where we look at the transition of agricultural, the transition of activities from agricultural activities to non-farm activities. So basically, that is what we're talking about. So income diversification basically is talking about the transition of the business of rural households right from farm activities to non-farm activities. That is what the macro level looks, and it is part of the rural non-farm economy. But even though what's it called, income diversification is critical to improving the living standards of rural households through structural transformation, it does not give us any information regarding the development of districts in different parts of the world. So it is important that we do this input-output analysis to be able to see how income diversification affects rural households. Now, the second level of income diversification, which is relevant for policymakers and government, is micro-level income diversification. Now, when we say micro-level income diversification, we're basically looking at how income diversification occurs at the household levels. Income diversification is seen as part of the portfolio of activities that rural households undertake to secure greater incomes for their household. So the idea here is to undertake as many income generation activities as much as possible. So at the micro level, the idea is to get members of the household to undertake different levels of income generating activity to secure greater access to benefit. So this is one of the reasons why income diversification is critical at the micro level. So whereas the macro level looks at the sectorial transition of the rural economy from farm sector to non-farm sector, when we talk about micro income diversification, we're basically looking at how individuals within the household are able to transform assets or resources into creation of income generating activities to support themselves and also to be able to help them address some social economic policies such as poverty and a lot of issues. So this is basically what that does. Now, there's also another level of income diversification which occurs between the macro level income diversification as well as the micro level. It is called meta level income diversification. And the meta level income diversification basically looks at how rural households step out of old income generating activities into new income generating activities. So basically, it's a survival approach to enhancing livelihoods. It's a way of dealing with poverty because they begin to step out of old income diversification activities into new income diversification activities. They allocate a greater share of the time into profitable ventures whilst allocating less time to less profitable ventures. And this is a way of enhancing livelihoods among rural households in Ghana. So these are the three different levels. Now, in the analysis of income diversification, it is critical to understand what specialization does when it comes to income diversification. Whereas specialization looks at how farmers generate income or how rural households generate income from one particular source. When we talk about income diversification, we're looking at how rural households are able to generate a portfolio of income generating activities from different sources and how they are able to use that to be able to address the problems of poverty. Because you cannot address the poverty in the north without looking at some of these concepts, and that's basically the difference. So when we talk about meta level income diversification, it's basically looking at the way rural households begin to step out of old income activities into new income activities with the view to raising income front ends that can improve the living standards of members of the household. So a household is said to be specialized. That is when it earns about 2/3 of its total household income from a single source. Now when we say a rural household is diversified, we're saying that no single income source is generating more than 75% of total household income. And this is what it says when you look at the development literature. In fact, empirical literature says that that income diversification accounts for about 80 to 90% of total household income in Southern Africa, about 60 to 70% in Asia, but when it comes to West Africa, it's just about 40 to 50%. And it is still not clear it's still not clear how income diversification is able to contribute to total household income in the northern region and other parts of the world. And understanding this is critical to addressing the problem of poverty because government policies are geared towards reducing poverty in the northern region, and understanding this would help government to be able to reduce poverty in the northern region, because without a better understanding of income diversification, I don't see how government of Ghana will be able to help the people of the north where I come from. So I think that understanding of income diversification is critical to the poverty analysis discussion, and as an expert and a World Bank consultant on this area, I'll be able to profile a lot of discussions on this. I'll be able to profile a lot of advice on how to do that. So basically, as I was just saying, this was just basically what income diversification is. So income diversification basically is a tool for poverty reduction. I'll repeat that. Income diversification is a tool for poverty reduction. And if government understands the matrix of income diversification, government will be able to use that as a tool for policy development, as a tool for poverty reduction in the northern region. And as an expert at the economics department of GIMPA, School of Liberal Arts and Social Sciences, I'll be able to offer you a lot of new insights in this area because I have done a lot of publications in this area, and I know exactly what government wants when it comes to development of the northern region, and this is something I'm very passionate about. Now then, the then civilian government was Dr. Hilary Limant of the People National Party. He was the president of Ghana. He had already started the negotiations for economic recovery under the economic recovery program. He had already started the negotiation with Western partners, the International Monetary Fund and the World Bank, to address this economic crisis. But this was considered treasonable by certain elites in the military junta, and this was the reason why the Third Republic was overthrown. And the Third Republic was overthrown because of some of these things that the Hilary Limant government has started for addressing the problems of economic challenges in the country. So this was considered treasonable by certain sects of the military, and that was one of the reasons why Dr. Hilary Limant and his government was removed by a military junta led by President J.J. Rawlings. Now, the PNDC government, when they came into power, propagated a very high Marxist orientation to the economic recovery, and they only started renegotiating these deals after successive economic crisis, because the economic crisis were recurring, and after the problems and the challenges that they encountered, they decided to abandon the Marxist orientation and negotiated an ERP with the World Bank. But the problem with the PNDC negotiated structural adjustment problem was that it created a lot of poverty in the system. There was a sudden wide push of people into poverty because of the closure of many state-owned enterprises. And then it also destroyed the manufacturing base of Ghana and pushed a lot of industries out. Today, we are still suffering from some of the the effects of some of these policies which were taken. So basically, I'm saying that the economic recovery program of 1983 was okay, because when NDC negotiated that, it moderately increased agricultural growth, but it also led to a lot of challenges which created problems in the long run. Today, for example, Ghana continues to import everything from toothpaste to tractor. And it is funny, Ghana doesn't produce anything because the structural adjustment program destroyed the manufacturing base. So Ghana doesn't have a thriving local manufacturing industry. So as a result, it created a lot of problems, constantly pushing the economy into perennial negative trade of balance positions all the time. It also destroyed the British educational system, and all these created problems in the economy. Now, if you look at how Ghana's economic growth has transitioned from subsistence agriculture to a moderate economy, you really realize that the pathway that it took was different from the pathway which was taken by Asia and Latin America. The Green Revolution in Asia actually laid the foundation for the development of the non-farm sector in Asia, but in Ghana, the Green Revolution didn't do much, to be very frank, to be very honest, because if you look at the Asian economy, the Green Revolution provided the foundation for farmers who were exiting agricultural activities to agricultural activities. So we can basically say that the Green Revolution laid the foundation for industrial revolution of Asia. But when we look at Ghana and Africa, this didn't happen. So as we speak today, in the publication of Nimprate and others, they still believe that Ghana has neither achieved green revolution nor industrial revolution, because traditional exports have still accounted for over 80% of foreign exchange, according to Babatin and Haiti. So these are some of the challenges that we have had with the economic recovery program that was negotiated with the SYPNDC government led by Flight Lieutenant Rawlings, and these were some of the challenges that it had. So all these things created problems in the northern region. So in this video, I have given you an overview of the economic development of Ghana from independence to current region, and how it has contributed to undermining development in the northern region. So that is the economic growth of Ghana and how that has affected. So because the economic recovery program was not very good for helping everybody and pushed a lot of industries and created a lot of poverty, it has become very necessary for us to rely on income diversification, to provide non-farm income as a way of dealing with the problems of poverty and food nutritional problems in the northern region. Because if you look at all the statistics and data from FAO and United Nations, you realize that northern region is behind in terms of some of these things. And I am saying that income diversification on the basis of this can be used as a tool to improving the living standards of people in the northern region. Last year, I conducted research on political economy of income diversification in the northern region, and I was hired by the World Bank Food and Agriculture Organization, and as an academic who understood the area, and I was actually contracted to look at this area. And in my evaluation, I realized that government had to do a lot regarding this area. And in this video, I'll be giving you a little bit of insight into what the rudiments of income diversification is and what government can do to improve living standards in the northern region, reduce the problem of poverty, to be able to enhance food security in the northern region. This is something I'm going to really discuss. So now, before I get into this, before you really understand how income diversification is able to contribute to the living standards of people in the northern region, it is critical for me to give you the contextual picture of income diversification in the northern region, so that to help you appreciate this. Now, to do that, I am going to give you three different levels of contextual presentations on income diversification in the northern region. First, I'm going to look at the political economy of economic growth in Ghana. From there, I am going to look at the political economy of income diversification and agricultural policy formulation in Ghana. Then from there, I am going to look at what the problem in the northern region is and how income diversification can be used as a tool to enhancing poverty reduction in the northern region. Because in the conversation to the upward mobility of rural households from poverty, it's important that we understand what income diversification is. Because the literature around the world basically shows that income diversification can be used as a great tool for improving the living standards of people, especially people in the northern region. And I'm going to look at that. Now, in the first analysis, I'm going to look at the political economy of income diversification in the northern region based on an evaluation of the political economy of economic growth in Ghana. Now, Ghana's economic growth has been associated with the post-independent cocoa sector's excellence and how it contributed to the expansion of industries. Now, because of the post-independent cocoa industry, because of the expansion of the post-independent cocoa industry or post-independent cocoa sector in the 60s and the 70s, a lot of income diversification opportunities were created. So because of that, Ghana is quite high when it comes to comparison in terms of economic development with other sub-Saharan Africa because of the post-independent cocoa sector development in the 60s and the 70s. Now, because of the success in the post-independent cocoa development, because of the success in the the post-independent cocoa development and how it contributed to livelihoods, new income generating activities have been created as share of agricultural contribution to national economy declines. New opportunities have been created, and these new opportunities have been created by different growth motors in different sectors of the economy, and how they have been able to impact living standards of rural people, and that is what we are going to be examining. Today, we can see that the expansion of the ICT sector has created a lot of opportunities for rural householders in the northern region. And how? Today, mobile phone ownership has exceeded 100% of the population, and today, mobile banking is in every village. Mobile banking is in every bridge, and the foundation for this new opportunities was laid by this economic recovery program, which was enacted by the government of Ghana in 1983. 1983, yes, the government of Ghana, with the help of IMF and World Bank, negotiated an economic recovery program for addressing the economic downturn which arose from successive military coup d'etats from 1975 to 1982. So the next context I will give you to understanding income diversification in the northern region is to look at the political economy of agricultural policy and income diversification in the northern region. Now, political economy theory suggests that political struggles in organizations like Ministry of Food and Agriculture organizations have considerable impact on policy formulation in Ghana. They have considerable impact on policy formulation in Ghana. Since independence, different competing political ideologies have contributed to shaping the current agricultural policy in Ghana. If you look at the works of Gunitilaka, Tileke, Sedu, and Seni, and Anaman, you will see that different political ideologies have contributed to the shaping of the current agricultural policy that we have. Now, one of the major things that the economic recovery program did in the structural adjustment program was that it identified agriculture as a key area for sustainable economic growth in Ghana. This led to massive investment into the agricultural sector, according to the works of Bafo Akoto in the 1980s. This fueled investment into the agricultural sector. But the problem was that these investments fueled investment only in the cocoa sector and neglected the food production sector. So this created food insecurity in the northern region and other parts of the country. So, as a medium-term development agenda to address the problem, the medium-term agricultural development plan was launched in 1990 to 2000 to be able to address this problem. But the medium-term agricultural development policy was moderately successful because it only increased farm output by 2.4%, and then share of agri contribution to what's it called to the GDP was also declining as a result of that, and then because of that there was massive movement of labor from the agricultural sector to the non-agricultural sector. So the massive movement of labor contributed to average productivity growth in other sectors. But what that was that it reduced farm holdings from 5 hectares to about 2 hectares, and this created more like the environment for the creation of income diversification opportunities. So the need for creation of non-farm income became very relevant. Now, if you look at all Ghana's social policy development frameworks, that is the Ghana Poverty Reduction Strategy 1, which was enacted from 2003 to 2006, Ghana Poverty Reduction Strategy 2, which continued from 2006 to 2009, the Ghana Shared Development Agenda, which also continued from 2009 at that meals period, and now the current Planting for Food and All Jobs have all emphasized the role of income diversification to poverty reduction in the northern region, and all these policies are linked to what is called the food and agricultural sector development policy, and this is why income diversification is critical. So a proper understanding of income diversification will be critical to understanding the current poverty situation in the northern region, especially Yendi, that is attracting a lot of international attention, and how government can use income diversification as a tool for poverty reduction in the northern region. And this is where we leave it. My name is Gamal Abdul Nasser, lecturer consultant, economics department at the Ghana Institute of Management and Public Administration. In the next video, I am going to be looking at the contextual issues influencing the problems that Northerners are facing, and I will look at it in the next context. Thank you.